How you guys doing? It's the kind of series you've fallen in love with, and I didn't even realize you guys enjoyed it so much, and it's really kind of refreshing to see a lot of the comments and how many of you are kind of following along and either trying to catch up or seeing very similar progressions in terms of what you're able to do on your account. It is the account update series here, and I've got some big news, honestly some huge news to share with obviously a lot of you guys, and you might have heard it at the end of yesterday's video as a little mini spoiler for today's video. But I'm going to be going over the tech side of things, as you guys will know, our facilities, which are looking quite hot, and especially my speed ups and kind of resources, what I'm looking at the moment and kind of aiming towards at the end of the video, which is competing in the Mightiest Governor event. So smash like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it, right? What we've been doing. So you'll notice, just as a quick little update on the building side of things, we did basically almost complete all of our buildings. I've done all my gold, basically up to 29. I'm doing the like wood and stone now. The only reason I'm doing that, as you guys may notice, is we've got these events, right? And you can use these events in the Desolate Desert. And one of them is to actually use speed ups. And I'm actually using my building speed ups on them, right, at the moment, just to get them done really quickly so I can actually get the most amount of actual cash injection of resources into my account, right? So we can keep pushing power. So on that side of things, nothing really hasn't changed apart from that side, right? But when it comes to our tech, I have passively been doing my tech, right? I've not used any of my speed ups yet, right? And when we go into it, which is quite nice for myself, I've managed to complete all of the health tech for these, and I've actually left the defense ready to speed through for obviously later on in this video, which it'll make sense in a second. And then we've got these to push through too, which I think I'm going to be able to do as well, which is going to be super fun. And then we're going to be on the last area. Literally, we're going to be on the last area before technically we're at the final stages on here, which is quite fire if you think about having all of my troop types now having the maximum base stats that they're allocated in the military tech, which isn't any of the all unit buffs at the end. So absolutely happy with that. I'm looking forward to getting those done. So only 2 days on this. This is definitely getting popped very soon, so don't you worry on that, sunshine. And to kind of carry on with that, honestly, push, you guys will notice my facilities are looking hot right now. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be honest. Once I finished these red ones here, and I think many of you guys will agree, with all of the new events in the game, especially that battlefield one, which just gives you 200 for free, and the fact that it just feels better now in the exploration update that did, I think, a few patches back, which was a quality of life change, actually much better as well. I'm not having any issues as kind of like, you know, an FTP in the facilities department, not putting a single cent in here, and I am pushing through. I was able to go all the way, completing all 4 of these. I've put 1 point into here just to get myself 4%, you know, healing speed. It was cheap. I could even do it now to put it up to 8%, which would be nice. But what I am being disciplined on is getting this 750 done to finish this 5 and then focus on the emergency care. Because I think if I have got a larger capacity of troops, you got to think technically in fights now, that means I can take more wounds, meaning I don't need to worry about my hospitals filling up as fast and maybe getting a little more dead troops in the long terms, in, you know, in the worst case scenarios. So actually kind of liking that. So as soon as we do these, we're on the final stretch, and boom, we're at the Renos, which is gonna be super exciting for me. I think a lot of you guys are excited to see what we push for first in the building renovations, right? So in terms of stuff though, to kind of put a little bit of, you know, flavor into the video, I am going to be going for this Mightiest Governor, right? You guys will know, I kind of mentioned this yesterday's video, and I'm kind of recording this too because I want to try and get as much done now. So when I'm live and with my other content that I need to pump out as well for either sponsorships and stuff, we're able to do that, right? So what I'm going to be doing is in Race Against Time though, we've got building research here, and then obviously you got the stuff to do with crafting. We're going to be doing a bunch of building and research speed ups in here, as well as then obviously the unit training to finish things off. And then if we need to kind of go anywhere down here, we'll try and go down here as well. But what's really important for me is obviously getting this overall completion, right? Because if the game wants to work, right, I know it's working, but it's not at the same time. There we go. What I want to do is unlock Ashoka on the account, right? So if I kind of just skip through these, I don't give you guys any sneak peeks of what the hero section update is going to be, but I am going to be able to unlock Ashoka there, meaning the only two heroes we're missing is Constantine and Arthur, which are VIP heroes. And I think, again, for most players, they'll be happy that there's a content creator here that's only going for 3-star heroes. So in the future, no matter what, I can do 3-star testing with anyone, and we can always have that bit of information for the low spenders and the medium spenders, and even technically the high spenders that might not want to go for a full 5-star comp, obviously, and trying to save some monies down the road. So because of that, what I've been doing, and this is going to be quite crazy for a lot of you, but I've been training my T5 up, and you can see I have honestly just been letting this fly. And the only times I've ever speeded up any of my training in this is just if it says to train some of my units, obviously for the exploration, but that's gone tier 6 and tier 7. So I've just literally trained tier 7 units for those exploration quests just to get the mount whistles. So we've got my completed. So we've got 135k swordsman, but we've got 130k pikemen, 120k and 143k archers, because obviously we are an archer main at heart still. So I've got all of these troops to promote. I'm going to be promoting each one of them, so you guys can already, if you want to do the maths, if you really want to be degenerates, you can predict on how much points I should already be obtaining minimally with this promotion, because every promotion from T5 to T7 T7 is going to be your 50 points, right? It's 50 points between each one. Going all the way up here, I believe. I could be a little bit wrong, might be a little bit lower. We can check that out in a second. Let's just go over and validate myself. I'm sure it's 50 points here. Unit training. So, oh no, it's 80 points, even better. So we're gaining 80 points per train there, 80 points. So just think, if you want to go back through and look at what we've got so far, and we probably will have a little bit more troops by that day, but if you look here, this number, you got to think that's going to be times 80, right? Because for each one troop promoted, I'm going to get 80 points. So do that times 80, that times 80, that times 80, and that times 80, and then plus it all together. That should be my points in just the training alone from promotion. And that's not, I'm talking about building fresh T7s at the same time. So we're gonna have a nice big injection of troops, including power, because if you guys have not noticed, we are on the brinks of 50 million, and we did break 50 million earlier on, but since we've been fighting, obviously getting some dead troops, we've lowered a little bit, but we have been gaining a bunch of power from all of these different areas right so far. And just to kind of finish off, showing case all that is the heroes, right? Because obviously we've gone through these troops, we've gone through all that, and then obviously the speed ups will be right at the end of the video. So if we go to the heroes, you'll notice obviously my archers are all cooking. I've been doing some of these mounts, but I haven't gone too in-depth on my mounts yet, because I kind of want to do this live with you guys. But I have got some okay mounts just to kind of showcase these off. I've got like Lifesaver, because obviously my man's recovering, we're reducing more damage down, that feels great. Obviously Gallant here, getting 6.8% extra second strike skill might damage, obviously great on my Mulan. We've got Fierce, 18.9% more normal attack damage on my Timur, which is great because he just does normal attack damage, which is fantastic. And we've got like Spirit Bond, we've got Blade Sever, we've got a Mythic, yes, you see right, 10% turn-based skill might damage on our Julius Caesar. So that's sitting there ready to be used on other heroes. I do wish I could obviously keep this and put it on something else, but just for the trait alone. That's all I care about. So we have got some horses out there, but to kind of showcase what we've been progressing on, as you'll notice, we are starting to level up my Radiant Guardian. I think just to level 20 is my aim. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to go for a level 20 ring on this Radiant Guardian to give myself that 55% chance, which is significantly better than 46%. And then I get that 1.63% as well every 6 seconds, right? So I like both of these numbers being just a much better number than these two at level 20. And as soon as we get those to level 20, I'm going to be pushing my Tranquil Water. I think this is going to be actually my level 40 ring, and I do know there is going to be new rings coming, and I am going to probably unlock them too. But in terms of leveling rings, this is going to be my first 40 legendary ring I'm going to go for, and I've already been pushing my other like epics. This is at 20 now. We've got this coming up to 10, which was not 10 before. We've got our Nightwolf pushing up now to 30 because it's one of my main rings. I'm trying to get this to level 30 next and stuff. So my rings are looking pretty good. But I've managed, as many guys will probably be questioning, I have completed the Timur and as well the Attila gear. So all of my Cavs, all of my archers have full level 80 legendary gear equipped. And the only thing lacking, as you'll notice, is the gems department. But all of my archers are legendary. So I am actually working on, if you're not looked, only on these 2 heroes, which is kind of, again, a big deal for me because I'm only missing 3 here, 1 here, and if you guessed it, it is the Might. So I need to get these Might gems to get to legendary, and I'm happy with that. And then we've got to work on our Attila, and they're done. They're actually done. The only way we can improve them is the mounts and technically level up the signet rings, which is something long term anyway. So for March, I'm actually quite happy with what we've been able to achieve. So what we've been using still is these pikemen. We've been swapping them out every so often and stuff. But to showcase my bigger updates though, we did obviously start leveling up my gear for my infantry because I'm using at the moment Ramses still. I really like it. I'm going to be honest, level 40 gear on him. I'm pushing level 40 gear on to Theodora, and just to showcase Charlemagne, he's on level 20 gear. He'll be 40'd after the Theodora. So you can see we're working in milestones, getting everyone to 40, then get everyone to 60, and then everyone to 80, and that march is done, right? But we are using this march. I am really enjoying it at the moment, and just because it's a lot more cheaper to run, it sounds a bit weird, but because I'm able to use stuff like this sowing Discord, and more importantly, it's a strategy-based march, I'm actually getting a lot more benefit using this, and I can use it as an infantry march, and later on if I want I can maybe try it out as an arch march too, because it will do technically more damage as an archer march, but it's a lot more glass cannony. But that's kind of the trade-off that you have for it. But I have, if you guys have not looked, leveled up my actual infantry march, so I've been able to 3-star Lagertha. She's skilled up, so that means I can run the Miyamoto, Trib, and Lagertha combo for this. I've also leveled up my Elizabeth to 120. Finally, she's 1-starred, and this is the technically only hero project I'm doing at the moment, which is kind of crazy because this is the only hero I need to work on until I get Ashoka, because once I get her skilled up and I get Ashoka leveled and skilled up, well, Belisarius is basically ready to go online. You know, Belisarius can just be, you know, use these Empire coins, get those legendary skills, get the gear on, and we're golden. So we're almost at that stage, basically, on my account that I will always have, basically, level 80 gear for at least 1 infantry march, 1 pikeman march, 1 cavalry march, and 1 archer march, which is really good for testing, because I can just test with level 80 gear, put the right gems on for that march, and we can just go against each other in level 80 legendary gems, and obviously 3-star level 120 heroes all maxed out on their skills or 3-star skills and stuff. So yeah, that is my hero update. It's been, I know, a long ride, and I know you guys have probably been like, Sneaky, there's no way you've been able to achieve all this shit, but hey, I have, and this is the road we've been rolling on. So obviously then we've got the new heroes coming like Otto and stuff. I am going to be unlocking all of them if I can, which does make me want to think about leveling up stuff like Tamiris now as maybe things outside the bubble once we complete it. But one march on my radar, and I want you guys to honestly discuss this in the comments really fairly. But what I'm honestly thinking about doing is building the siege march. I'm honestly thinking about building a siege march, and I'm thinking if what I'm gonna do is run Josephine with the Hammurabi, with the King Derek. As you guys know, we're gonna run that siege and plunder in there on all of the heroes, get all that siege rolling in there. But what I'm gonna aim for to make it super friendly is actually just run max epic gear, because it's gonna be rank, 60 max stars epic. But all their job is to siege, especially if I buy the siege rings, right? If I buy both, where is it? The rhino one and the elephant one. What I'm thinking about is this is going to be really good now in the desolate desert. And that's the only thing I'm thinking of, because those cities and a lot of these towers and stuff have big, large durabilities, and being able to melt through them is going to be important. And trebuchets. A lot of people are taking advantage of trebuchets and sieges, battering rams in the game now, which is super exciting to see. Love to see it. Good job, everyone. But it's making everyone else, like myself now, consider, hey, do I need to get this siege march online as fast as possible? Because, if I can kill these siege machines really quickly with this free-to-play march, I'm actually in a really good position overall. So that's kind of the only thing I'm thinking about when it comes to, projecting. And again, I think you guys like these type of videos because I've been doing that, right? I'm kind of showcasing, like, this is how I've been building, this is how I've been thinking, my future plans and stuff. And you can maybe relate to it, and maybe you can bounce off your own ideas and see, oh, he's like me, right? He's thinking about all these things and he's working with what heroes and what he's got, and he's going, 1 point at a time. So just kind of finish off these areas, just to give you guys a quick update as well on the good old mercenaries. I know you probably don't care about this. I don't read too much, but we have gone already 2 on the main ones. We're doing 3 now. So we've done 3 already on the damage bonus. Then we're going to do 3 on these, and we're good as golden. And we might do the others afterwards at 1 out of 5. I don't know. I might save that because I'm going to basically do the same thing for the infantry now. Basically get all those 3 out of 5. Get these pikemen 3 out of 5 in the same fashion as the cavalry, and then work on from there. But 34% complete. Quite a nice little bit of push progress on there. But to kind of showcase off what we've been doing, as you guys have been probably waiting for, is a speed up. So I'm on 1.1 billion resources in the chest, and it is kind of low, I'll be honest, for a lot of players. I've been using a lot, obviously, in constantly pushing, constantly fighting, and so forth when I can. But it's the speed ups, right? The speed ups is the big one. I can always get resource, and I'm going to be honest, it's really easy to farm a resource at the minute in Desolate Desert as well, even though we're being invaded at the moment, but you can farm actually quite nicely in here. But we've got a ton of speed ups, right? No forging. Forging's gone just because we was using that technically the other day, just to get some points from there. But when it comes to everything else, we're good. We've got over 200 days in training, 100 days in research and building, which is what I was aiming for. I mean, 150 days universally, which is fantastic for me, because you got to think, I've built this back up from nothing on the account. So it just showcases over these events, over all the gift codes, all the times the devs have fucked up and given us a bunch of stuff. Look, if you use your resources right and manage your account right, you can have stuff prepared ready for big pushes when you want to, right? So I'm actually quite happy with where we've got from on the account. Honestly, we were really far behind, especially in a bunch of different departments, and we've been lasering in on all of them now. So that's the account update, guys. That is the account update. And just to kind of showcase, yeah, we've pushed to 1140. We probably can push a little bit further now, which we'll do later on. But yeah, there we go. All the new account updates. Let me know what you like to see in the next ones, because obviously what I plan to do in the next account update, which probably is going to be next week, just as a spoiler for the guys that love these type of videos, it's going to be then, because as you guys will guess it, I want to do an account update after I complete this, after I complete the Mightiest Governor, so you guys can actually see how many, speed ups I actually just had to use, and how nice maybe it is to be in an empire like ours and other empires that run fixed, fixed MGEs and have like a 25, 35, maybe 40 million, point cap that you can go for. And everyone has a nice little friendly underbuild competition for all the efforts that they've done, but at the same time, you can see everyone else down below going ham for those other sculptures. So yeah, let me see how much we have to use, and then afterwards we might be able to go quite hard in after a migration or something. Maybe another video to talk about. Let's see if anyone watches the end and goes, oh, Sneakyy is talking about migrations. Maybe. So until the next video though, guys, you know what to do. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.